Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Darrell Bean Stadium on the campus of Earlham College as we bring you Earlham women's lacrosse on a wet, soggy, and a very nasty Saturday afternoon. Great to have you with us. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show this afternoon. The Quakers looking for their 7th win on the season against just 4 losses. The Bethany Bison come in out of the President's Athletic Conference. They are 1-5, and as we just said, it is a nasty afternoon. We've seen some downpours already here in the last 15 to 20 minutes. It's a steady rain. You'll hear that rain hitting our crowd mic throughout the entire afternoon. At least we're expected to have rain throughout this entire match. That will make things interesting as we head up and down the field here today. So both teams will be playing in some rather nasty conditions. We'll see how that plays out by the end of the day. A Bethany team that comes in, as we said, at 1-5. They are a young team. We'll talk about more about them coming up in a moment. They have 9 freshmen. They're a very young team. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, this Earlham team continues to play well as they get closer and closer to the month of April, in which they have only 5 matchups remaining. 2 of those will be here, and all 5 of those games will be conference matchups. So if they can pick up win number 7, a lot of momentum heading into their first game in the month of April on the road at Anderson in Heartland Collegiate Lacrosse Conference action. The Quakers again have won 4 out of their last 6. When we come back on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show, we'll take a closer look at the Bethany Bison. They're coming up next. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse right here on Radio Troy Digital Sport.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back them better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Back here once again at Darrell Bean Stadium as we get set for today's matchup between Bethany and Earlham. We mentioned Bethany, 9 freshmen on their roster. They will, by the way, play with no subs today. They have no bench to speak of coming into this one here this afternoon. They're 1-5. They've lost their last 3. They're 0-3 on the road. And in their last game, they lost on the road at Goucher out of Baltimore, Maryland, 19-3. Rakaya Wise finished with 2 goals. Lindsay Cornish had a single goal. Trinity Dixon had 17 saves in goal. They turned the ball over 25 times in that loss and had only 15 ground balls opposed to the 30 by the other team in Goucher. 7 draw controls opposed to 16 and only 7 shots on the entire afternoon. And again, in the free shot positions, only 1 of 4, Goucher 6 of 10. Only 24 goals scored so far this year by Bethany in their 6 games, so they have a real problem getting the ball into the goal in their first 6 games of the season. We'll come back, talk about the Quakers, how they're doing so far as they're now 6-4 in the season. That's coming up in just a moment here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Wet, rainy day. In fact, we were just informed they're not going to go through the normal pregame activities that you would generally see with the starting lineups because of the rain we're going to have here. Abnormal atmospheric conditions is what we were just told a little bit ago. So we'll talk more about the Quakers and kind of move along in our pregame as well. The Quakers will be in their home whites, Bethany in their traveling green here this afternoon. Great to have you with us. You're going to hear that rain hitting the crowd mic all afternoon. It appears we had the heavy rainfall earlier, but now it's just steady as can be as we get set for the draw in our first action here this afternoon. So here we go. The Quakers will attack from left to right, the Bison from right to left. We were expecting rain. They had moved the start time back from 2 to 3 o'clock. Maybe hoping to dodge the rain, but that has not happened here this afternoon. So here we go. Officials making sure that everybody is set. Of course, Claudette Roskamp has had a heck of a season. She will be in for the draw. Quakers have really been very good at the draw control at home this season, so that has not been much of an issue, but they want to get out to a fast start, maybe make this one a quick one, and we are underway. And the Quakers want to have possession as much as they can here this afternoon, really keep the pressure on the Bison throughout the entire day. Quakers will work it behind the cage. Good look there at Serena Pisacano. As that ball worked again out front, it is loose. Ground ball picked up by the Quakers. For the Quakers today, Serena Pisacano in the lineup along with Claudette Roskamp. Of course, Claudette, we'll talk about her numbers coming up in just a few moments. As the Quakers again work it behind the cage, and a good look now at Alexis Warren. Warren able to pick up a ground ball deep in the corner. And I think that ball is going to be really tough to hold on to here today. Simply the netting is going to get very, very wet. The ball being as wet as it can be as the Quakers look to score first, and that ball goes low. That was a high to low shot. It was saved by the keeper. Good job by the keeper, Trinity Dixon. Quakers get it back on the turnover and score. So Earlham comes away with the early score in this one. After the turnover by the Bison. And on the score for the Quakers, Abby McCullough. And we can always tell who scored the goal simply because, again, after a goal, the player has to drop their stick and have the official examine it to make sure it is legal. So Earlham scores at, 28-50 here in the opening period of play. Again, in women's lacrosse, the team that is ahead, if they can get ahead by 10-plus goals, it is a running clock after that. Quakers, by the way, chance to win another draw control right here and get the second possession. Ball is going to be loose right at midfield, ground ball, and eventually won by the Quakers. It is still loose, though, just past midfield. And now Earlham with the draw control, a little bit late, but now Earlham in possession. Good look at Pisacano, who'll work that behind the cage again on the right wing. That last high-low shot was a beautiful shot. Nothing Dixon can do there for Bethany. As the Quakers patient again behind the cage. That's one thing about Earlham. And again, good spacing, a pick out front as they try to get their leading scorer open in Roskamp, and we have a whistle and a stoppage of play. We may have a free position shot on the foul. It is not a flag foul here, but it could be a free position shot for the Quakers. You can even see the rain coming down as it's coming down even more steady here in this first half of play. So the free position shot from the left hash mark. And the Quakers, their first free position shot of the day. It'll go low and bounce high and go in. Second goal of the day now for the Quakers. And Bethany finds themselves in a hole early, and there for the Quakers, Claudette Roskamp for the goal. And it's now 2-0 here in the first half. And Bethany in trouble early. The Quakers could really put it on the Bison here today, the way they've been playing at home. And if Claudette Roskamp gets going, will be a long afternoon for the Bison. For Claudette, what a year she is having. That is now the 50th goal of the season. Came in with 49 goals and 5 assists, and 29 goals, 7 assists for Emma Lady. Really good 1-2 punch for the Quakers coming in. So back to the draw once again. Quakers 2-0 on the draw unofficially as they go for the third time. Carefully placed between the two sticks by the official. Roskamp there for the Quakers, and here we go. Let's see who this draw will be won by, and it will be Bethany for the first time here this afternoon. Their offense finally getting going, and a good look at Dara Harrison there for Bethany. So Bethany, the first time they've had a chance to work on offense, and they'll go behind the cage. Again, 9 freshmen. You can kind of tell it many times already just watching them in warm-ups that they are an inexperienced team. There's a turnover. Roskamp with the takeaway for the Quakers, and Earlham in transition off the settled offense that time by Bethany, and we've got a foul call. And this will go to the Quakers right here. Quick change of possession called the unsettled, and of course the Quakers will try to settle into their offense as they're near midfield. And the Quakers again transitioning into the offense, and a ball loose at midfield. That is a near turnover. Quakers will keep it. Here's Becca Belcher. Now Belcher here on the near side for the Quakers. Belcher working on the right wing, defended there by Bethany Celeste Marchbanks. Quakers again behind the cage. That is Belcher once again. And boy, the rain continues to come down steady. Both teams have to play through these miserable conditions for the remainder of the afternoon. That's Alexis Warren. Alexis, good job cradling. Alexis in front of the cage, went low. Ball is skipped loose, picked up by the Quakers and going low, and for the goal there for the Quakers, that was Emma Lady. And Emma scores the third goal, and Earlham out to a fast lead, now leading this one 3-0 for Emma. That is goal number 30 on the season. That one coming at just over 26 minutes remaining here in the first half. And the way things are going now after we skip to the pregame, may skip a lot of halftime too because of the heavy rains being felt here in Richmond this afternoon. The Quakers last time out, they ended up losing on the road at Marion 17-4. They got down big in the first half. They were down 9-2. Really never recovered offensively as we're back again to another draw. Quakers have had early success in the draw control. Ball is loose. See if the Quakers can pick up that ground ball as it sails all the way to the far side. It will be Serena Pisacano there for the Quakers, and back in. Chance to get behind the cage and work it from there. Quakers will do a very good job of creating a line to the inside. There they go once again, and that goes high to high on that one, and another goal for the Quakers. This time, number 9, Krista Kirk gets on the board. It is now 4-0, and we will have, I believe, a timeout, and we will. Good start for the Quakers here this afternoon on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Scoreboard. It's Earlham 4, Bethany nothing. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery, Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Hey, today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors only, $3.50. Every Thursday, the Italian BMT, Friday, the tuna, and Saturday, the Black Forest ham. Treat yourself at Subway, 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. Just under the 26-minute mark as the Quakers looking to win 5 out of their last 7, and an early strike offensively, already a 4-0 lead. And the way the Quakers have controlled this one early, right from the draw, there's only been 1 offensive possession so far for Bethany here in the first half. Earlham could really run away with this contest by the time it's all said and done. If you're just joining us, the Quakers have already seen Claudette Roskamp score her 50th goal of the season. Emma Lady also picking up a goal. Live stats as we go on GoEarlham.com. So the Quakers again will set up in the half. We got a foul call. That is a non-timing foul, so the Quakers will now keep it and work behind the cage once again. That is Serena Pisacano, the dive and the goal once again, and it is a clinic here for the Quakers. Not even close. The defense nowhere near where they needed to be for the Quakers, or I should say for the Bison, as the Quakers scored easily. And then again, you look at a player like Claudette Roskamp getting another goal, her second. The way this is going, she might get 50 by the time the end of this one comes around. Her second of the day, 51 on the season. And that took just a matter of seconds for the Quakers to get goal number 5. And back once again to the draw control. Again, only 3 players around the draw control area, the 2 that are in the middle, and then you see the other 2 paired up on the outside of the midfield circle. Quakers have won all but one of these draw controls so far, and there's another one they have a chance to win. And picking that one up off the turf is Emma Lady. And again, we'll work the Quakers back into scoring position in the end here for the Bison. Quakers a little more deliberate this time. That is Pisacano working it behind the cage. And now works her way in front and shoots, and that one's going to be knocked down. We've got a whistle, may have a free position shot. That penalty may go against the Bison. Boy, both teams really, this is going to be a tough one by the end of this game here today, as you see Pisacano there with the free position shot with the hash mark right in front of the keeper in Trinity Dixon. Chance here for the Quakers to get on the board once again. And the shot goes high, and another goal. And the Quakers yet do it one more time here in the first half. And now lead this one 6-0. Off of the free position shot, that was Serena Pisacano there for the Quakers. And it is all Earlham. Quakers, let's look back. They may get the most goals they've had this year. 16 is the most goals they've had this season. But the way things are going right now, it is all Earlham. Quakers fighting for another draw control, and they will come up with yet one more. Alexis Warren right there at the bottom of your screen, looking to gain control off the ground ball. 2 defenders there for the Bison. But then coming in to scoop it up is Maya Claggett there for the Quakers. And guess what? Earlham back in to offensive position. That's going to go against the Quakers that time. So a rare penalty, a foul against the Quakers. They'll reset the shot clock now for Bethany with only their second possession so far here today. Near side, that is March Banks, who ends up losing it. She goes down. That'll be a check against the Quakers as Emma Lady called for the foul. And now Bethany back on offense here on the near sideline, and that too will go against the Quakers. That is not a time-serving foul of any kind once again. That is a ball down the left sideline, and Bethany now working in offense for just the second time. Losing the ball is Lindsay Cornish. Quakers fighting for a loose ball, and everybody's going to fall down at least once here today because of the slippery turf that we'll be dealing with. And now Bethany works in the offensive side, just outside the 12-meter. With the ball, that one off the pipe to the right on the shot attempt. See if we can pick up who shot that one. It was a hard one to pick up right there, but we'll try to see who made the shot. As we said, live stats will tell us that was number 10 or 18. That was number 18, which was Ayanna Crawford. And that one went off the pipe on the left. Their first real scoring opportunity of the day as the Quakers look to get back on the offensive side. Another ground ball picked up by Earlham. That is going to be Krista Kirk once again, and Kirk will work it behind the cage, looking now to her right as Theo Hunt is now in for the Quakers. Hunt losing it on the ground ball. There's a turnover picked up by Sarah Saberna there for the Bison, but they don't keep it very long. Another turnover. Alexis Warren on the turn, ball loose. See if the Quakers will turn it over. They will. But then another loose ball out front, and the Quakers able to pick it up again. So back-to-back turnovers now by the Bison. Quakers look to work it in front of the cage. Ball is loose, and we will have a penalty. Maybe a foul. Let's see who they're going to get here. It will go against the Quakers, and so now Bethany back on offense. Bethany, 2 offensive possessions. This time they really get down the field quickly to try to get into scoring position now for the Bison. And that'll be blown dead on the run that time. De'Ara Harrison. And we have, for the first time, a free position shot now for the Bison. And that one comes out of the stick that time by Harrison, as she's unable to hold on to it, so the Quakers survive the free position shot once again. In fact, that I should say once again, the first time now for the Bisons, the Quakers in transition. See if they'll settle offensively right here. Try to set something up again behind the cage. And there is Abby McCullough for the Quakers. See the rain coming down in your screen, dripping off the rooftop here at our press box. It's been a nasty afternoon, and both teams continue to play through it as we are now under 21 minutes in the first half. And again, the Quakers, 6 quick goals in this one. That is Alexis Warren. Receiving is Pisacano there for the Quakers. Again, we mentioned Bethany with 9 freshmen. They're down 1, though. Alex Moore out of Portland, Oregon, not with a team, so they have no one to go to on their bench. They'll have to play the entire matchup here today as Ross Camp behind the cage once again with Alexis Warren. Good defense there by Rikiah Wise, able to knock it out of the stick. Good check by Wise. Quakers will keep it as a drenched Theo Hunt was set to make the move, and now they'll bring it back. Hunt will have to go right there at the restricted area behind the cage. Quakers make their move once again to the outside. There's Alexis Warren on the spin. Alexis drives and misses wide to the left on the shot. Picked up in the restricted area. That was Pisacano there. And the clock will now stop for the moment as we have a player tying her shoe. It would have stopped anyway. They'll put it at 19:37 and counting. And now we'll see the Bison try to go on the move in transition near midfield. Ground ball eventually picked up by the Bison. Quakers quickly get back on defense themselves, and now we've got a whistle once again. That foul will go against the Quakers, and it could be another free position shot here. This will be the second now for the Bison. Hash mark to the right. Jordan Blackburn in goal again today, so far pitching the shutout, and that shot will go over the cage, and that one is out of play. So back over to the Quakers. They will now stop the second free position shot as that one was very high over the cage. And now the Quakers head the other way as we're under 19 minutes remaining in the first half. There's another non-time serving foul. And Earlham will bring it back once again as they look to midfield. Ground ball there for the Quakers. Becca Belcher. And now Earlham will work it to the far side. Ball loose, and Earlham now with a turnover. That hasn't happened very much so far here this afternoon, but there was a turnover on the Quakers offensively, and I would venture to say that ball's going to be hard to hold on to. The pocket not as deep in the women's game as it is in the men's contest. That long downfield pass attempt is going to be loose. See if the Quakers can pick up a ground ball right here. They will, so that's a turnover now on Bethany. Quakers working back into position, and nothing there. That ball coming loose as Pisacano unable to hold on to that one. Quakers able to get it back, another turnover. And again behind the cage for the Quakers, that is Emma Lady. Most of these players playing without gloves here today, which I'm sure that stick has to be relatively wet most of the time. Nice move back to the inside by Ross Camp. Went low, and we have a delayed call right here as the shot is knocked away. Good defense by Bethany. Quakers able to get it back, or at least partially, with Emma Lady trying to scoop that one up off the turf. Tori Magnotti there for Bethany. They cannot control it, though, and the Quakers come back with another takeaway. We'll see if Earlham can pick up number 7 right here. Good move to the inside, went low, and the keeper able to go low as well. Dixon gets the save. Good effort by Pisacano trying to work low. And now Bethany unable to clear it out of their own zone as good check right there, but that'll be a foul called against the Quakers. Well, I was watching a game earlier today in Division I between, I think it was Michigan was playing, and they were really letting the women check in that game. They were extending their arms with their sticks, and it got really very physical, but so far that's not the case here today, as you see Bethany trying to work it toward midfield. Team's moving a little slower here. Neither team has a lot of bench to go to. Ball loose at midfield. McCullough battling for the loose ball, eventually picked up, and here come the Bison. Left side now to Cologne, and Cologne tried to go inside, but there the keeper, Blackburn, able to knock that one down and get the takeaway. And the outlet intended for Alexis Warren on the near side will go out of play. Turnover for the Quakers. Well, you hear the rain continuing to come down here at Randall, or I should say at Darrell Bean Stadium, as the Quakers, with the 6-0 lead, got 6 quick ones, and since then it's been a little different after that timeout for Bethany. They kind of shored things up a little better defensively. That is Cologne again behind the cage. Right wing, and an attempt now by the Bison, and we've got a foul call. It looked like Crawford once again was trying to make her move in front of the cage, and we will have a free position shot at the 8-meter line once again. And Crawford will now have it at the top of the 8-meter line, just inside the 12 and right at the top of the 8. Chance here for Crawford. She goes low and scores. So Bethany gets on the board here in the first half of play. Off of the free position shot. Looked like, again, it was Crawford who got the goal, number 18, and that makes it 6-1. That is only the 25th goal of the season now for Bethany. And Crawford, the sophomore out of Washington, D.C., able to get the first goal now for the Bison. 2-1 here the first half. Back once again to the draw. Quakers will have Roskamp there. And that ball is placed right at the upper third, right at the shoulder level of both the players, and that will be stopped immediately. And they will do it again. Boy, the draw control is so important. Players able to get that draw, able to get their team going offensively. Really good players on the draw can get it to a teammate and try to do it as quickly as they can. As now here is Emma Lady. Lady able to cradle that one and bring it back outside to Roskamp. As you see, pretty much Bethany working man-to-man. So they've got a double team almost out front. Good look here on the near side to Murphy. Ball comes loose. Ground ball scooped up there by Krista Kirk behind the cage. And once again, it'll be Emma Lady. Emma looking to the inside. Pass goes behind McCullough. And that one comes all the way to the near side. It will stay in play, though. That's good news. No turnover there for the Quakers. This will be Murphy once again as she receives the feed and brings it behind the cage. Looks to go back to her left. Trying to find an opening right now. The keeper's going to stay right there. Some keepers do not look back behind, but today it will be for Dixon. Ball loose out front. Still Quaker ball as McCullough able to bring that one up off the turf, and that is going to be a yellow flag. A late call here as that went off the pipe to the left, and both teams trying to scoop that ball up off the turf. And eventually, who's going to pick it up? It'll be the Quakers. That was Murphy. Murphy goes behind the cage once again. Murphy to the inside. Murphy has that one blocked, and we will stop play. Good check there. In fact, there were about 3 different green jerseys right there against Murphy. So now we have a free position shot for the Quakers from the top. Really nothing more than when you look at this as an ISO, almost a 1-on-1 situation. Let's see if Murphy can make this a 7-1 contest. Murphy starts to make her move and then decides to reset it up out front. Quakers have been here for a while. You see the Bison having to defend for a while. Now we get another stoppage of play. This may be another free position shot for the Quakers. It'll be 2 in a row. That is number 18 for the Quakers, Emma Lady. So 2 in a row as we now can hear the wind starting to pick up a little bit as well here at Darrell Bean Stadium on a miserable afternoon. Waiting for the official to make the call, and that's a good check there. Really not even a great effort overall by the Quakers. They didn't get a good shot off on that free position shot. It was a good check, though, by Bethany, and that'll be Harrison. Harrison on the run herself as she will bring it near midfield. Good spin, and they'll try to set themselves up for a possible second goal. Things have shored up a lot more since the Quakers got out to an early 6-0 lead. And Bethany works it behind the cage once again. That is Crawford there for the Bison. Crawford's bounce pass out front to Wise, and now set up out front just outside the 12. Here's Harrison as we are coming up on 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Loose ball picked up, though, by Alyssa Hill of Bethany. Quakers really not pressuring much defensively right here. Just staying in front of the offensive player. Trying to make a move now is Cornish. Cornish low, and that shot goes wide to the left. Might have caught just a piece of the goalkeeper, Jordan Blackburn. Well, the Quakers will have it as the last one to touch it was a Bethany player, and so back over to the Quakers. We are coming up on the 10-minute mark now here in the first half. Turnover Quakers at midfield. And that'll be a whistle and a foul against Earlham. A little check right there. Again, that is a non-time serving foul. We haven't seen one, at least that we can remember so far here today. So it will be Bethany getting a chance. Looks like they've called that a free position shot, and that is going to be the case. Or is it not? No, we're going to work it behind the cage. As we come up on the 10-minute mark. On the attack to the right, and there is a whistle, and there is another one. That was Lindsay Cornish who made the move back to the inside, so here is a free position shot again for Bethany. Boy, after that early start by Earlham, things have really evened out. Where are they going to put this one? It appears it'll be on the right hash mark, and again, that will be Cornish. So Cornish goes low. That one off the pipe to the left, and Cornish almost got it back. Well, that one hit the upright on the left. That's a nice pipe save, you might say, as the Quakers back on the run the other way. Nearly going down there was Pisacano there for the Quakers. Said you're going to see players falling down all over the place here today with the wet turf that they're dealing with here at Darrell Bean Stadium, and it's not going to get any drier the rest of the way as Bethany back on offense once again, and we have a whistle from behind. That'll be a check. Ball will be placed on the left side. Another free position shot here for Bethany. That is, looks like it's Cologne, and it will be Cologne. Cologne will work it to the inside. She gets her shot checked, and for the Quakers, Roskamp able to check that one with her stick, knocking it away from Cologne, and here come the Quakers. As we come up on the 9-minute mark, it's been a while since the Quakers have scored after those early 6 goals they had. They've not done much offensively since, and so you look at Bethany able to get right back into this contest. If they can pick up a goal or two right here before the end of the first half, that one goes off the stick here on the left side as Bethany regains possession. Good look again at Cornish, one of the few seniors on this team. She wears number 17, and Cornish will find her teammate Cassidy Mayu. Ball loose on the far side, eventually goes out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover by Bethany. Emma Lady quickly scooping that one up, and here come the Quakers past midfield trying to get themselves into scoring position for number 7. And we've got another whistle. And that will be a free position shot, another foul called against Bethany. We see now numerous free position shots here in the last couple of minutes. Becca Belcher from the hash mark at the top. Belcher to the move, and that's going to go wide to the left as Belcher unable to get the goal on the free position shot from the top, but the last closest player to it, player from Bethany, so the Quakers are going to keep it and work it behind the cage once again. See if they can feed it to the inside with a cutter. You'll have 2 cutters right there in a row, neither one able to receive it, though. Pisacano being hassled there defensively by Harrison, and then Pisacano works to the inside shot, will go wide to the left, and eventually ball picked up again by the Quakers, and they'll try it one more time. There's your 2 cutters. The second one, Alexis Warren. Good check there by Mayu there for the Bison. Quakers near side, that's Murphy. Murphy will work to the cage, and there's a little X area back there. They call it the X area, where you try to work it. It's also what you consider a restricted area. That's new this year. Ball comes loose, and the Quakers, will they turn it over? No, they will not. They'll be able to get it back. They'll go low and score. Well, it wasn't the prettiest of plays, but the Quakers make it work, and Emma Lady gets the goal, her second of the day, and the Quakers now lead this one 7-1. It had been a while since the Quakers had gotten on the board. That'll come at 6:59 remaining here in the first half. And we will have our second timeout of the first half of play on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 7, Bethany 1. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse and Radio Troy Digital Sport.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top-flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
We're back here at Darrell Bean Stadium. It is 7-1. Quakers with the lead here in the first half. Emma Lady getting the 7th goal just moments ago, though it is still raining. It has kind of subsided a little bit here. That's the good news. The bad news is this is going to last for the remainder of this one. A reminder, if you're visiting the Richmond area and you're looking for a place to stay, try the Best Western Classic of Richmond. You get the most amenities available, including indoor pool, fitness center, conference space, free buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and, of course, a clean, quiet, comfortable room. Best Western Classic of Richmond, 533 West Eaton Pike. Well, this thing looked like if Bethany could have scored. They were down 6-0. They picked up a goal, and it looked like maybe the offense for the Quakers was going a little bit stagnant until that last goal by Emma Lady made it 7-1. Bethany had their chance to perhaps at least creep back into this one, but that's not going to happen, at least at the moment, with Bethany giving up that last goal on the misplay there by the Quakers. Good high-low shot put together by Emma Lady. So back once again to the draw. This has been all Earlham here this afternoon. The draw controls have been in their favor. Looks like for the Quakers that may be Emma Lady now on the draw control, or at least the draw control attempt. Ball placed very carefully again between the two sticks. Not sure what the official is doing right now, as he was very careful to put that in there. And both players, once you get it in position, that ball goes high in the air. And this will go to the Quakers. Time of possession has really been in favor of the Quakers most of the day, as Pisacano here to the near side for the Quakers. Earlham really heavy on the right side as Pisacano will work it now behind the cage. Ball, nice pass to the inside. Able to reach out and grab it was Murphy. Murphy, though, unable to do anything with it as they rotate behind the cage once again. Ball is loose. Not very good possession there by the Quakers as Krista Kirk tried to control it, could not do so. And the Quakers look like they have that is a turnover there by Earlham, the foul called against the Quakers, and now will continue play as Bethany will now take over. Yeah, that's the rain you continue to hear coming down here at Darrell Bean Stadium. Might be one of the worst afternoons we have had thus far. As Bethany in the final just under 6 minutes trying to work themselves back into scoring position as they look to pick up just their second goal of the afternoon. Everybody moving a little bit slow right here. This game is not very fast-paced. That is a good look at Mayu behind the cage, and now Mayu will give it up once again as Bethany tries to work it back to the right wing, as that is Rakaya Wise. This will be Crawford. Crawford now behind the cage once again. Easily checked there by Belcher. And again, the ball will now come loose and it will be picked up. Bethany will keep it. Here's Crawford. There just isn't much there for the Bison. As Crawford now on the right wing. Not much movement either by Bethany. They have a couple of cutters to the inside as that one comes loose. It'll stay with the Bison, though it did go out of bounds, and now a whistle and stoppage of play again. They may give that to the Quakers. I think they will. Backside official had called a foul, and so the Quakers will get it back off the turnover by Bethany. So now Earlham a chance to go back on offense as we get close to that 4-minute mark here in the first half of play. I tell you, I mentioned the pace of this one. It was fast early, but it is really slowed down. There's a turnover by the Quakers. I mean, neither team really, in fact, who would in these conditions want to get up and down the field a whole lot in this one? There's just neither team moving very fast right now. So now Bethany. This is Harrison. This is De'Ara Harrison. And you see Bethany gets it behind the cage, and they just don't move a whole lot. They're not a really good passing team. As this will be Ayanna Harrison trying to work it in front of the cage. Ball is knocked away on the check, and that'll be a whistle and a foul. We will have a free position shot. Well, the Quakers, I mean, from an on-ball defender standpoint, they don't have to move very much. It's just that Bethany doesn't have a whole lot of quickness. And so the Quakers able to keep the offensive player in front of them. This will be Ayanna Crawford from the right hash mark. Takes a while for the ball to get set up. Good check for the Quakers to stop that offensive possession for the free position shot. So now the Quakers back in transition the other way. See if the Quakers can get their 8th goal right here. Pisacano fighting for the loose ball here on the near side. Whistle, and that'll go against Pisacano. Another non-time serving foul for Earlham. Quakers have been behind the crease a lot here, rolling to the inside. They had 2 cutters on a consistent basis, rolling inside, cutting right down the middle, and they've had some success here today. As you see Bethany now working quickly. This might be one of the quicker transitions they've had in a while, as Marchbanks is going to receive the foul. Will we have another free position shot right here for Bethany? Players will get set up, and it will be Marchbanks on the hash mark to the left. This will cut down the angle a little bit for Marchbanks. In fact, she won't even attempt it from there, and passes back outside now to Wise. So Bethany with a free position shot, not a good angle on the left side. They'll set things up on offense, and we're down to our last couple of minutes here in the first half of play. Good check there on the left as Cologne trying to find an opening out front. Ball comes loose, and the ground ball eventually picked up by Bethany, so they will keep the possession here. That is Lindsay Cornish. Again, we mentioned Cornish, one of only 2 seniors on this team. It goes low in the score. So nice play there by Lindsay Cornish to make it a 7-2 contest. And it'll cut the deficit now to just 5. That will come at the 2:04 mark here before halftime. Well, if you're Bethany, if you can get another one here quickly, you're right back in this thing here as your offense has struggled this afternoon. The stat line certainly in favor of the Quakers in just about every area. We'll check that out, of course, coming up at halftime. So 2 markers on the board now for Bethany, 7 for the Quakers. Back once again to the draw, and the control won by the Quakers. And if you want quickness, there it is. Always a good look at one of the quicker players. That goes low and score. You talk about quickly. There she is, Emma Lady, within just 8 seconds, able to get that goal back. And there's the importance of that draw control. And Emma Lady went from the middle of the field, went 50 yards, and just put it right in front of the keeper, Trinity Dixon, and it's 8-2 within 8 seconds. And that's quickness right there. So the second leading scorer for the Quakers on the season, Emma Lady, puts another one on the board. She, along with Claudette, are going to put some huge numbers together after this season is over with. They may have set all kinds of records. We still have 5 games to go, all conference games. And they both have played extremely well. Back to the draw again. One thing about Emma Lady and her quickness, but when she gets in a position, she can evade a defender pretty easily. And she just decided that time she took it straight in and ended up just going right at the keeper, Trinity Dixon. Challenged her one-on-one and picked up the goal. That foul will go against the Bison, as we are coming up on under a minute and a half to go now here in the first half of play. See what the Quakers do right here. If anything, of course, there's still plenty of time on the shot clock. Roskamp goes in and does it again. How about that? And you can hear the Bethany coach, Liz Geyer, all over her team as Roskamp makes it a 9-2 game. You could hear Geyer all the way up here. She was not happy and shouldn't be with her team's defense. They give up 2 goals within less than a minute. And Geyer was all over either her keeper or the defenders who did not get back and help. So Earlham puts 2 together quickly. It's 9-2. And we're down to just over a minute remaining. 2 big goals for the Quakers as Roskamp does it again. Back once again to the draw. See if the Quakers may get another one right here. Ball be picked up. The draw control won by Harrison. As now Bethany trying to go back on the attack again. This probably would be their final possession right here, as we are now under a minute remaining, and they are not very quick getting in position. Even when they do, a lot of times they'll just come back and set it up. As you see Cornish here on the near side, and boy, Emma Lady might have taken a stick right to the ribs right there. Emma came up a little bit slow, might have knocked the wind out of her. Cornish turns, loses it, and a turnover. Roskamp will pick it up for the Quakers. Turnover by Bethany. Quakers will have to hurry if they want to get this one into scoring position. Ball loose near midfield, and that will be a whistle against Bethany. And we're down to our final few seconds. Quakers near side. Pass intended there for McCullough. McCullough able to save that one from going out of bounds. And the clock is going to end. And will the Quakers even get a shot right here? They will not. That's going to do it for the first half, as the Quakers end up getting 2 late goals here in the first half. And on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Earlham 9, Bethany 2. We'll be back with your halftime numbers coming up in just a moment. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com. Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. It is halftime, by the way, a short halftime. They'll only go 5 minutes, and then we will pick it up once again. So let's give you some quick numbers in the first half. Quakers scored their first goal by Abby McCullough at 28:50. That made it 1-0. Claudette Roskamp picked up another goal at 28:02. That made it 2-0 Quakers. Emma Lady, her first goal at 26:08. This gives you an idea of how quickly Quakers got out on top. They made it 3-0. Then Krista Kirk picked up a goal at the 25:41 mark. That made it 4-0. All those goals, by the way, the first four unassisted by the Quakers. Claudette Roskamp picked up a goal at 25:14, assisted by Serena Pisacano, 5-0. Quakers came back as Serena picked up a goal at 24:43, and it was 6-0 just like that. Bethany gets their first goal. It was Ayana Crawford at 14:23, so we went about 10 minutes without either team scoring after that flurry at the beginning. That made it 6-1. Emma Lady picked up another goal at 6:58. And that was unassisted. That made it 7-1. Lindsay Cornish got the second goal by Bethany. That at the 2:03 mark, 7-2 Quakers. And then Emma Lady came back at 1:51. That made it 8-2. Emma Lady's goal unassisted. Then Claudette Roskamp at 1:12. That made it a 9-2 score at the half. Quakers out shooting Bethany 19-6, 15-2 shots on goal. The free position shots, the Quakers 2 of 4, Bethany 1 of 3. In the saves, Bethany with 6. No saves by the Quakers. Draw controls in favor of the Quakers 10-2. Also in ground balls, Earlham 15-9. The stat line continues as well in favor of the Quakers, as there were 12 turnovers by Bethany, 11 by the Quakers. And again, for the Quakers, Roskamp with 3 goals, Emma Lady with 3 goals, and for the Bison, Cornish with a goal, and Ayana Crawford also with a goal in the first half. We will come back. Second half is coming up in a moment. Quakers on top 9-2 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Are you looking for the right place to work out? A place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond. Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond.
Hey, this is Steve, and out of Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
By the way, after today, the Quakers will not be back until April the 10th. That'll be a conference matchup against Mount St. Joseph. Mark that down on your calendar. Hopefully by April the 10th, we'll finally get some decent weather. That has not been the case so far this year for anyone around the Midwest. That'll be a 7 o'clock start time. Quakers will play 3 out of their 5 final games on the road, all of those in the Heartland Collegiate Lacrosse Conference. So some big games coming up again for the Quakers in the month of April. They'll travel to Anderson in their first contest on April the 6th. You'll mark that down for a 1 o'clock start time as well. So Quakers, by the way, are in first place in the HCLC. They, along with Hanover, that's the only conference game that has been played so far, as the penalty called against Bethany, and it will be the Quakers with the first possession now of this second half. Quakers will work it behind the cage once again. That ball coming loose. Roskamp trying to get a hold of it, and a turnover by the Quakers. That was quickly picked up by Harrison. So now Bethany trying to work their way down the field as there is a whistle. That'll go against Bethany. A quick check there. That may have been Harrison who lost the possession. And so the Quakers back with it once again. Look like that is Alexis Warren. Alexis, a part of the field hockey team here. Chance to play some women's lacrosse as well. This is Murphy. Left wing, Murphy. Trying to dodge to the inside. Draws 3 green jerseys there. And Murphy kind of scoots her way near the 12 and gives it up on the right wing. That'll be Kirk. Krista Kirk there behind the cage. Alexis Warren cutting through. Kirk will work herself now to the left wing. She sends Pisacano out. And now behind the cage to Roskamp. Now Quakers can use some clock right here. I don't think there's any doubt they're going to win this one here today. Just a simple standpoint. They're more talented. As Roskamp feeds inside. In fact, didn't even do that. She turned herself and gets the unassisted goal. So Roskamp will make it now 10-2. Nice move as Roskamp positioned herself inside. Looked like she was going to, at least I thought she was going to feed that one off. And the next thing you know, she takes a shot. She went high on that one. The goalkeeper, Dixon, had her stick up high, and Roskamp went right by her. So Roskamp with her 4th goal of the day. And Roskamp now with 53 goals on the season. Back once again to the draw as the Quakers again on the stat line, owning every bit of this one here this afternoon. Boy, you hear that wind again starting to pick up as well. It is a just absolutely miserable day here in Richmond. We were expecting it to be rainy. In fact, the baseball team had their games moved. They were supposed to be playing in Bluffton. They thought they were going to get them in today. They moved them to tomorrow, and then they moved them to Monday, trying to avoid the rain here over the next couple of days. So back again to the draw. Quakers another draw control back on offense. So far, Bethany unable to do anything here in the second half. Roskamp makes her move, and there's a whistle. And we should have a free position shot here for the Quakers. If it's Roskamp, and I believe it is, she'll work on that hash mark to the right. Dixon will slide to the left. Guard that post, try to take that angle away. You hear the rain coming down even harder. Roskamp, and that'll go wide to the left on the shot. The rain just now pouring. It is nasty-er. You really hear it coming down as we got a foul call. That is, again, a non-time-serving foul right there. We haven't seen any of those today, and that's the good news. We had a pouring down of rain like this in the first half, and now it's coming down just as hard here in the second half. Is now Bethany. First time they've tried to work it into scoring position. Mayu now behind the cage in that restricted area. We'll give it up now to Cologne. And once again will be Cassidy Mayo out of Bell River, Ontario. Trying to work herself to the inside. Shot low. Good save there by Jordan Blackburn. High-low on the shot. Blackburn anticipated it well. And the Quakers will head the other way. Everybody working against the conditions here today. That'll be a check out of bounds going against Rekiah Wise, excuse me. So Wise picks up the foul. That is Claggett here on the bottom of your screen. And now Roskamp will work it back to the middle. Quakers in. Now a chance to get on the board once again here in the second half. Earlham's very simple. Get it behind the cage, see what is there. That pass intended for Alexis Warren, picked up by Roskamp. Roskamp, good job to the inside, cradling it, holds on, and will keep it. Nothing there, and she decided to bring it back out. That was a really good move that time by Roskamp, as the official will stop play, and I'm not sure exactly why. The official on the outside, the delayed call, brought the flag out just to stop the play for the moment. So it looks like we're going to bring it to the right side. So they'll call it a free position shot now to the right. And it looks like it'll be Pisacano there for the Quakers. Ball comes out of her stick. In fact, not even close. Didn't even get an attempt as Pisacano drops it. Turnover Quakers off of the free position shot. And now Bethany working across the midfield line, and now it is loose again. Looks like this will go back to Earlham. And now the official stopping play again. And here we go. That was stopped just for the moment. Quakers again here in a scoring chance, but then they turn it over. Quakers at 11 turnovers at halftime. That's a few too many for them, as they want to cut that number down here in the second half. As that ball went out of bounds, it'll stay here with Bethany. Quakers able to get a takeaway once again, leading this one 10-2. I think in a dry day, the Quakers would probably have more goals here today. But again, with the way the conditions are, it's been a rough afternoon for everyone. Bethany back the other way. There's another stop by Blackburn. Crawford tried to go right to the middle, and Blackburn anticipated that one well. And here come the Quakers. At midfield, there's Belcher. Quakers in transition themselves. They bring it across the midfield line. Now we'll set it up right here. As getting it inside the 8 and losing it was Belcher. So the Quakers with a turnover themselves, but able to get it back. Turnover by Bethany. Unable to hold on to that one. Sarah Saberna there for Bethany. If the Quakers can get this thing to 10, the clock will run. That rain coming down as steady as it has been all day. There's Pisacano there for the Quakers. Pass intended inside for Theo Hunt. Still loose, and the Quakers are going to score again. This time it'll be number 8, Roskamp. Picked up the loose ball, able to put it in for the goal. And the Quakers now lead this one 11-2. And one of the wiser fans has stayed in the car here today to watch this one. You can hear the honking of the horn. So Roskamp puts another goal on the board. One more. You can get that clock rolling, and we've had the shortened pregame, the shortened halftime, and you can make this a short second half. It would be safe for me to say that there's probably not one person out there that wants to be here today. There is no extra man offense as much here today as Bethany, as we said, nobody on the bench. It's got to be pretty lonely there for Coach Geyer out of Concordia, Chicago, trying to build the program at Bethany in her first season. Lindsey Grunfast also in her first year, but was an assistant coach, so this program familiar with Lindsey and what she's trying to accomplish here at Earlham as the Quakers win yet another draw control. Pisacano with the cradle. And again, work it behind the cage. On defense, that is Tori Magnotti. Pisacano, the double team. Nice move to the inside. Checked away as Roskamp loses the ball, and Bethany trying to advance it. Will they, though? That's the question. Is there for the Quakers, Meg Murphy. And I think we've got a timeout, and we do. So timeout on the field. Just over 22 minutes remaining in this one on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 11, Bethany 2.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
Hey, if you're looking for a great place to dine, how about Little Sheba's? Come join them in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue and grab one of their gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, and more in their smoke-free environment. You can get a 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home. For more information about Little Sheba's, give them a call at 962-2999. We're back once again here at Darrell Bean Stadium. It's 11-2 as we have just over 22 minutes remaining following the timeout. Live stats on Gorlam.com. They'll have final stats on Gorlam.com when this one is over as well, if you want to check out all the final numbers of today's matchup. As you see, Bethany will have it after the timeout. Quakers, I think, wanted a timeout just to try to play a little better than they did. Those last couple of possessions were not their best possessions of this entire matchup, so they kind of settled down a little bit. This thing's not over yet. I know it is in control right now of the Quakers. But you don't want a team like Bethany just kind of hang around here at the end of this one. Ball is loose, lost out of the stick by Harrison. Turnover, Bethany, and that'll go against the Bison. And here come the Quakers once again. That's one thing the Quakers can do is now use a little bit of clock, too. Alexis Warren back to the middle. I mentioned both teams kind of slow here today, and you expect that. It's cold, it's nasty, it's raining. You know, both teams are really struggling finding some energy here today, and you really know why as Pisacano works it behind the cage. It's not a good day, and both teams moving kind of slow. A little extra weight on them, too, because of the wet clothing they have, and everything probably feels about as damp as you can get. Pisacano went high with it, picked up in midair by the keeper. Good job by Dixon. And now Bethany trying to work it back the other way to the far side. They'll turn it over again. Another turnover by Harrison. Quakers again look to the inside. There's a good double team and able to get rid of it, Meg Murphy. Quakers again with Emma Lady back in the lineup. Lady will dodge inside. Lady goes low. Dixon with a save. Lady went down. Ball loose. And we've got a whistle. Emma was trying to go low on the shot, but Dixon was there. And we will have a free position shot now by the Quakers. Good effort by Emma Lady. Emma will now have the free position shot from the top and scores. So the Quakers now lead this one 12-2. And with the 10-goal lead, that means we will see now a running clock as long as it stays 10+. Quakers now 25-8 on shots, 20-4 shots on goal for Emma Lady. That is her fourth. Roskamp with 5 here this afternoon. Back once again to the draw. They went ahead and started that clock running right now, so we will start it as well. The draw control won by Bethany. Bison coming off that loss in their last matchup in which they managed just a couple of goals. They have really struggled just putting rubber to the net this season. Good look at Harrison behind the cage. Harrison going low, and a very weak shot that time as Blackburn takes it off the hop. Not much on that one for Harrison. And intended for Alexis Warren here on the near side, will eventually go out of bounds. They say will be Bethany ball. So Bethany back into the half court. I say half court, I mean their half of the field. Is we're getting basketball thrown in here as well. We're going to get this clock changed. We're going to change because they've got 18:25, so we're going to get that 1 minute off there because they started a little bit early on the running clock. So now Bethany he'll go behind the cage in this one as you get a good look at Cologne. There's Harrison, freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland. Long pass will be received. Out front, trying to make a move. Good spin by Rakia Wise. They'll reset the shot clock as the ball is loose and eventually picked up by Pisacano, and will head the other way. So now Earlham a chance to add to their 12-2 lead. Pisacano there. One of the players for Bethany goes down. They look like it was number 14, Magnotti. And to the inside, Pisacano goes high and scores. So Pisacano will make it 13-2. As Pisacano stays high with the stick. On the shot, nothing there that Dixon could do to bring it down, and so the Quakers now make it 13-2 here this afternoon. By the way, those 13 goals, the Quakers had 16 against Muskegum back in February. That was the 28th. They had 17 against Holland, 17 against Ferrum. So the 17 goals they've had the most this year. So 4 away from that. We still have a lot of time on the clock to get that done. Quakers will now look forward to the remainder of the HCLC season, which will begin next week. As we said, we're hoping the weather will be better by next week because it's been a rough spring for all these fall teams. Baseball, lacrosse, Track and field having to work outside in some of these conditions. It's just not been a good spring. So Bethany, chance to get into scoring position here in the second half. That shot no good. Good block as Cornish trying to get her second. And back over to the Quakers. Again, running clock with the score at 10 plus. And here come the Bison once again. It looks like that's Harrison. They'll take that back. Quakers now to the left side. And it'll be Alexis Warren. Rain coming down heavier again. You hear it on our crowd mic and have throughout the entire matchup. But this second half has been a lot of rain as that one under the stick that time of Theo Hunt. And the Quakers will turn it over here in the second half as we are now under 15 minutes. This by far has been the rainiest day we have had. We've had some really cold days and even some days we've had some snow. That'll be a check on Emma Lady. We've had some days where it has been just absolutely windy. But from a rain standpoint, this is the day. Quakers after the turnover. There's Emma Lady. So Earlham with just over 14 minutes remaining. And these are 14 long minutes if you're out there in the rain today. Quakers will really slow this one down. Really not much of an effort to get set up offensively. And there's not a whole lot of pressure by that Bethany defense either. As we will stop the clock, it looks like they're going to say, hold on just a second. Or are they? The official, I think he's going to call a free position shot here. We're waiting to see. Reese explaining he's putting players in certain positions here, and I'm not sure why. They don't give us an explanation of what exactly they're calling, but we're just kind of standing here now. Well, it couldn't have been a free position shot because it was too far outside, and the Quakers turn it over right there, but get it right back as Alexis Warren with a takeaway. Emma Lady goes low and scores again. Well, after the turnover, Alexis able to pick that one up off the turf, able to get it to Emma Lady for another goal. And Earlham now with 14 on the afternoon. Emma with her 5th goal of the day. She along with Claudette Roschkamp with 5 goals each. Quakers now just 3 away from matching their season high, which happened twice, as we mentioned, in mid-March. And back once again to the draw control. Let's see if the Quakers can grab another one of these. Earlham will look to the conference season on April 6th at Anderson. Want to remind you that is a 1 o'clock start time for those of you that will either plan on going to see the Quakers play in Anderson, or I'm not sure if they will have video streaming or not. We'll have all that information on Earlham's website, goearlham.com. You can check out the remaining schedule. They'll let you know here in the next few days. Quakers again after the draw will now set up in the half. Quakers again in no hurry. His clock again running here in the second half. Ball picked up off of the turf there by Marchbanks, and Marchbanks trying to clear that one down the middle of the field, and another turnover by Bethany as they'll give it right back to the Quakers. The rain slowing down a little bit now here in the second half as Alexis Warren just outside the 12. Nothing there. Back to Pisacano, who's able to scoop it up off the turf as Earlham a little sloppy with the passing. That's intended there for Theo Hunt. Turnover Quakers. And now for Bethany. They tried to advance it with Banks trying to advance it herself and unable to do so. So the Quakers again after the turnover will work in their half-field setting. Quakers just outside the cage. That shot's going to be knocked away. The shot attempt by Murphy. And now Bethany heading back the other way as they will get it past midfield. That is Cornish. Quakers hustle back defensively. Cornish looking to her left. And behind the cage now is Cologne. We haven't been down in this area for a while. As Bethany, their offense struggling here again today, got 2 goals, and that's been it. That'll be Crawford behind the cage. Crawford to the inside. Crawford losing it. Good check from behind by Roskamp, able to take it away. And the Quakers in transition themselves. Earlham moving a little faster now that the rain has slowed down here in the second half. And a whistle as Roskamp starts to make her move. And now Earlham, after the quick whistle, able to set it up again in the half. So let's see what they can do this time. Behind the cage now is McCullough for the Quakers. McCullough losing it, able to scoop it back up off the turf on the ground ball. And once again, McCullough in possession. Here's Alexis Warren. Warren to the inside, and that's going to be a good save by Dixon. The ball still loose. Alexis able to bring it out herself. So Dixon gets the save, but the Quakers will keep it. And Earlham back beyond the 12 as you get a good look out front. Looks like that's going to be Murphy. Pisacano behind the cage in the restricted area. And once again to the near side to McCullough. Here's Warren again as we come up on the 8-minute mark. Ball passed inside. Roskamp with a shot. That's going to be wide to the left. Picked up again by Warren. Good dive inside by Roskamp. Unable to get the goal, though, as Dixon guarding the pipe on the left. Pass to the inside again. This time it is McCullough, I believe, and Abby unable to keep it in her stick. And a turnover by the Quakers, maybe, and there's a whistle. I say maybe, as that 50-50 ball was loose for the longest time. And now the official will allow Bethany to bring that ball a little bit further out. And here come the Bison once again, but another loose ball at around midfield. Roskamp able to pick that one up. Turnover again by the Bison. And Earlham quickly working back into scoring position. Here's Pisacano wide to the left. And McCullough able to pick that one up maybe at the end line. Had to come in and out of her stick twice. And she could not get that one into the netting. So Bethany back on offense. We are now under 7 minutes to go. Things getting a little brighter here today as the sun trying to peek through the clouds. The rain hasn't stopped, but it's not a downpour the way it was a few moments ago. Dixon looking for an opening someplace, and she's been holding on to that ball for quite a while. Quakers pretty much guarding everywhere. Good defense here by Earlham. Dixon is now walking all the way out to the 10. Might just take it herself if she keeps going. I'm not sure what Dixon's planning on doing with it, but it didn't work. Dixon, ball loose, 50-50 ball above the 12, and finally picked up by Bethany. They had a long, long wait for Dixon to do something with a loose ball. Ball will come loose again as Bethany sloppy in their offensive possession right here. Pisacano there for the Quakers. Magnotti trying to clear it herself, and that'll go against the Quakers, I believe. Let's wait. The official is pointing for Bethany's possession. You can hear the Bethany head coach, Liz Geyer, telling her team not to quit in this one. And that is all for future reference. They want to see if they can get better here in the last 5 minutes, something you can take positive out of this one the rest of the way, because they really haven't played well at all here in the second half. And now the Bison once again in their own half field. Going behind the cage, that's Wise. Wise will come out the other side, turn and miss the shot, as that will go out of play. Wise did a good job as she got back on the turn to the inside. And now we have another whistle. Stoppage of play here as we come up on the 4-minute mark. Two officials that are down in that area talking to one another. Some confusion on what we've seen this a couple of times here today. Really not sure what the call was. But now you see the Bison in that restricted area. That's new in women's lacrosse this year. A little restricted area behind the cage. Quakers will defend. That's McCullough right there with Blackburn. Ball shot high on the attempt. And McCullough may have caught one upside the head with the stick. In fact, even coming in that one a little shaken up, looked like Emma Lady. And we will have a free position shot here as we are now closing in on the 3-minute mark in this one this afternoon. Ball goes low. Blackburn with a save off the shot attempt by Wise. And the Quakers unable to clear it, and the goal scored. Earlham was unable to clear it that time. Blackburn trying to get it out of there. Goal be scored by Crawford, the attacker out of Washington, D.C., and that'll make it 14-3. But Earlham made a huge mistake that time, just trying to clear it. And Bethany able to get the turnover and the quick goal. So an unsuccessful clear turns into the goal for Bethany. They now have 3 on the board, and Quakers will go back and try to win another draw. Rain now is virtually stopped, which is good news. Here the rest of this one. Quakers on the draw. That's Roskamp. Emma Lady trying to get the loose ball as well. Roskamp able to receive, so the draw control to the Quakers. Here is Emma Lady. Emma scored that one goal off of a draw control within 8 seconds. Once she received it there, she was by herself and pretty much just did it all alone to get that one goal. So she has 5 today. As we mentioned earlier, her and Roskamp leading the Quakers in scoring, as usually is the case. Here is Pisacano there for the Quakers. We come up on a minute 30. That is Emma Lady behind the cage in the restricted area, looking for an opening one way, and now we'll come back to the near side. Emma now forcing her way just above the crease. Nothing there. We'll pass it back out front now to Theo Hunt. And again, the Quakers will find Emma Lady. There's Roskamp. Started to see Krista Kirk set the screen. Roskamp takes it wide, lost it on the check, picks it back up. Roskamp to the inside, goes high and scores. So So Roskamp with another goal here this afternoon, and the Quakers now lead this one 15-3. And that'll be close to perhaps the final play we will see here today, as Earlham will win this one this afternoon. 7 wins will be on the board for the Quakers after this one is over. Roskamp now with 6 goals on the day, and we may not again have another draw right here. How quickly they'll bring it back to midfield. But it is all academic at this point, as we're going to see that clock run out. Will they get one more right here? As time is on the move, and they will get one more draw out of this one, and this one is in the books. So that will do it this afternoon, as the Quakers will pick up the win by a final of 15-3. We'll come back and wrap it up in a moment. This has been Earlham Women's Lacrosse on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
As an internet service provider, Parallax Systems offers reliable residential high-speed internet service and business service. With a fiber backbone reaching over 150 miles, we have created a multifaceted delivery system. Our dark fiber leasing has proved beneficial to public and private sectors alike. Parallax serves Wayne County and surrounding areas. Parallax Systems, when speed matters. A division of Richmond Power and Light.
At the Reed Orthopedic Center, our physicians and support team devote themselves to helping you return to a healthy and active lifestyle. Our expertise includes shoulder, elbow, foot, ankle, hand, wrist, hip, and knee injuries, as well as pain management and rehabilitation, and school athletic training programs and sports medicine. We are committed to providing you with the best possible orthopedic treatment that we can. To request an appointment at the Reed Orthopedic Center, call 765-935-8905.
Well, again, the Quakers win here today, 15-3. The Quakers win their 7th of the season. The first 6 goals scored quickly. They kind of set the tone from there in the pouring and sometimes just outright nasty day. But Earlham able to get the win here today. And now we'll think about the final 5 games, all conference games coming up in the month of April, April the 6th. They will be on the road at Anderson, and then we'll be back here April the 10th against Mount St. Joe. That, by the way, is a night contest. That is a 7 o'clock start time here at Darrell Bean Stadium. But the Quakers win it today. All the final stats, as always, on Earlham's website, goearlham.com. Hey, thanks for being with us. Your final score, Earlham 15, Bethany numeral 3. This has been Earlham Women's Lacrosse right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.